Let's talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds right now: market crashes. If you're retired or close to it, you're probably wondering, what happens to my investments if the market takes a dive? The truth is, market crashes aren't an if, they're a when. They definitely happen. And when they do, the difference between staying financially secure and suffering major losses comes down to how you've set up your investments. My name is Chris McClure, and for the last 30 years, I've been helping successful families with their estate planning, tax planning, and most importantly, dealing with their investments to avoid a market crash. So today, I'm going to walk you through a simple strategy to help you protect your money, keep your income flowing, and give you confidence no matter what the markets do. And I'll share a real-life example of how one couple weathered one of the worst market crashes in history. So let's get into it. First, let me introduce you to Tom and Lisa. They're both age 65, and they've done well for themselves. They've got about $4 million saved up. Now, when they first came to me, they were mostly invested in a mix of stocks and bonds, right? Pretty typical. 70% stock, 30% bond, and they had been told for years, just stay the course, you'll be fine. But here's the problem. When the market was down 30%, like it did in 2020 at the beginning of COVID, or 2008 in the financial crisis, that's over $1 million drop in their portfolio. And that's a tough pill to swallow when you're drawing income from those accounts. So we help them set up a simple framework that I like to call the retirement income bucket strategy. It works like this. We divide their portfolio into 3 buckets. The first is the cash and short-term bonds, and this holds 1 to 3 years of living expenses. Bucket 2 is income-producing investments, things like dividend-paying stocks, real estate, or bond ladders. And lastly is what we call bucket 3, and that's growth investments. And these are mostly stocks designed for long-term growth. When the market drops, they pull out income from bucket 1. That's their safe money. So they're not forced to sell stocks at a loss. When markets recover, they refill that bucket using growth from bucket 3, okay? Now, back in 2020, the market dropped over 30%. Tom and Lisa, they didn't panic. They had 2 years worth of expenses sitting in cash and short-term bonds. They didn't touch their stocks. And by the time they needed to refill that cash bucket, the market had fully recovered. So they stayed retired, they stayed invested, and they stayed confident. You see, this isn't just about peace of mind, it's about avoiding what we call sequence of return risk. And that's the risk of experiencing a market crash early in retirement. Right when you're starting withdrawals, that's the worst time to take money out. And it can dramatically increase the odds of running out of money. But if you have a cash buffer, if you have a bunch of cash set aside, a place to draw income from when stocks are down, you don't have to sell at a loss. You see, that one adjustment can make the difference between your money lasting 20 years or 30 years. And here's the key. It's not about trying to predict the market. It's about creating a system to manage the ups and downs of the market. So if you're nearing retirement, or let's say you're already there, ask yourself, if the market drops 30%, where will my income come from? And if you're not sure, that's a sign you may need a better structure for your financial life. Tom and Lisa, well, they're traveling, they're spending time with their grandkids, and they're enjoying retirement. In fact, they just bought a big motorhome and they're traveling around the USA. And the reason they're able to do this is because they have a system that they trust. If you want help building a retirement plan that can withstand whatever the market throws your way, let's talk. Feel free to click the link below to schedule a meeting. And if this was helpful, hit like, subscribe, or maybe share it with someone who you think is getting close to retirement. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.